Hey, how's everyone today? This is a video of my oldest running steam locomotive. It's a Union Pacific 484 Overland. It is all analog, all old school. I do believe it is a mid to late 80's run. And the reason why I think that is because it doesn't have the dreaded pancake motors. It has a can motor. And it is, I can't really say it's a fabulous runner. I got it working, good enough to get going, but it's not, and also it does struggle a bit on the 18-inch radius. But after it gets going for a couple minutes, the performance seems to pick up, which is really good. It does have smoke. I did have the smoke unit going before. But it's just zipping along, pulling the Atlantic coastline passenger cars. I don't think UP ever would pull Atlantic coastline, but I modified the couplers on these Atlantic coastline cars to go around 18-inch radius really easily. So that's why we are doing that. So yeah, after already running for a few minutes, it's picking up a lot of speed. It was really slow at first, but now it's zipping along really nice at a really pretty fast speed, I might say. So I might slow it down a little bit. I have it at 70% throttle right now, so I think I'll just tone it down a bit. Bring it down to 60. A tiny little slower. But I have not run this one too much. It is a lot of fun though. It's easier for me to get the smoke box working if I hook my DCC controller up to it. Then the smoke box works really good. But I decided to pick this up. I actually got it new in box off a seller in California on eBay. He had it forever, never used it, never took it out of the box. So I was the first one to run it when I picked it up about, I think it was about 6 or 7 months ago. And on one of the Facebook groups I'm on, I asked a couple people that have been in the hobby for a long time, what should I look out for with this particular locomotive in these runs, and I guess notorious for their axle gears cracking. But luckily this one seems really fine. And I'm also fortunate too that it does not have a pancake motor. So it has a can, I think it's called a can motor. I don't know if it's 3 poles, 4 poles, or 5 poles. I didn't take it apart enough to really take a look and find out. But I mean, for what it is, I mean, it runs. I'm happy about that, but it's definitely not it's not a crawler. We can try and get it to crawl a little. I'm just going to get on the carpet here because my feet are getting cold on the basement floor. So we'll just wait for it to come around again. And then I'll see if I can get it to crawl a little bit. Just fix that camera up. Speed up a little bit. But I don't think these were ever known for being good crawlers, so I got the throttle down to 30% right now. Yeah, let's slow it down a little more. That's about the crawl it has. It's a little... If I try and get it any lower than that, it's gonna stop it's gonna slow down around the curve because it is an 18 radius, so it's pretty tight for a larger locomotive. So naturally, it's gonna slow down around those curves. But I don't think I'm gonna get it to creep any more than that. I'll try and throttle it down a little bit more. That is, I mean, it's trying. It's really trying. I wouldn't call it a stable creep. Not a stable slow runner, but I'll give it a E for effort for sure. It is really trying. It would probably do a lot better on my 22-inch radius Cato track. Well, let's get the power going to it. The thing wants to go. It doesn't want to go slow. It just wants to go. I'll go position the camera a little better. So later on, I'm going to put a little more track out on the layout. You get a bunch of motors, get a bunch of motors, get a bunch of locomotives going. Oh, I need to grab my coffee. And again, was kind of what I'm using for a controller there. Of course, I cleaned the track again with some wet wipes. Get my slippers on. Basement floor is not warm. Alright, there we are. There, let me fix that up there. But no, I love enjoying a coffee in the morning. Have some trains going. Life is good. Yeah, so, I mean, in my opinion, it's running good enough to enjoy. So I'm going to make another video today, and I'm gonna get an inner loop going, and get a couple locomotives going, and then I'll get my DCC controller hooked up, and my DCC controller will also make this 484 run a lot better too. But I mean, for such a, it's the oldest locomotive I have in my fleet, and I mean, for what it is, I mean, it works. It's kind of slowing down over there. I find it works a lot better at the high speeds. But, I mean, there's probably things I could work on it that I don't know yet. I have not pulled apart enough steam locomotives to really understand them like I do how the diesels work. Here, I'm going to put her back up to 70% throttle because it seems to like that. Seems to like 70%. It just wants to go fast. One of those ones. So, I will let it go fast, if that's what it wants to do. Let's see if I can get a little zoom in here. Oh, there we are. I'll try and get the camera to follow it a little bit. Might have to loosen the tripod screw a little bit so I can much easier to move this around. There we go. That's better. And there's some of the Atlantic Coastline rolling stock. I have a nice Atlantic Coastline engine I can hook up later as well. There, we'll zoom it out. And we can probably get some smoke going once I move the DCC controller down here. Get the smoke box going, and that'll be pretty epic. I only have 2 steam locomotives with smoke boxes. This is one of them. Alright, I'm just going to tighten this tripod back up, and before I end the video, we'll take a close-up look at the locomotive after I get it stopped and everything. Because I never did do a video on it just on its own. Alright, oh, I gotta grab my coffee. It's on the cold floor. I'm gonna have to heat it up again. I always end up having to heat up my coffee a couple times. Alright, let me take this phone off the tripod. Oh, snapping sound. Alright, here we go. Like I say, I'm not gonna... This isn't a detailed review or anything, but we're just gonna look at the locomotive. But in terms of detail, to me, I just consider it just average detail. They are nice locomotives. They look nice. But they're not, they're definitely not on... They don't have the level detail of Bachmann Spectrum. This is just a regular Bachmann from the mid to late 80s. So there's nothing super fantastic about it when it comes to detail. Just your basic stuff. But it is not bad either. It's a bit dusty now. I gotta take my dust brush to it. And the tender is definitely nothing to write home about. It's got, even has plastic wheels. And the back grab irons there, or you want to call those ladders, I suppose, if you could. They're just molded into the plastic, which kind of drives me crazy. But it's alright. It's not too bad. I would much prefer actual ladders. But overall, I mean, I've wanted a 484 since I got into the hobby. But I couldn't invest the money into like a high-end one, like Rapido, for example, or Broadway Limited. There may be a few other model locomotive companies that make them too, but they were just way out of my budget. But I'm perfectly fine sticking to the less expensive stuff. And another thing, I also, I mean, it is a bit dusty, but I wanted it to shine like the one in real life, so I added a layer of clear coat to it, which was really easy to do. So that's why you can probably tell there's a bit of a shine to it, more than what it would have had coming from the factory. So I wanted it to have a nice restored shine to it. Alright, I will end this video for now. Like and subscribe if you wish, and I'll have another one going here in a little bit with some more locomotives running. Everyone take care. Have a good one.